Iamar prestarian. Han motho neinen. Han motho nefkes. A han noston negulef.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Garblag Games, where tonight we're playing The One Ring, the Heir of Elendil. And with me are, once again, a lovely cast of players. And I'll let them introduce themselves and their characters, starting with the Garblag himself, Pete.
Hello, I'm Pete, and I'm playing Vidar Tomefinder, or Vidar Onewarg, I believe. He got the nickname in the last series. So I'm a dwarf scholar who wanders around trying to find old ruins and hitting things with his long-hafted axe. I do rubbings of statues as well. That's one of my favourite things to do.
You do like, rubbing statues.
I do.
That was established. Dan.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dan, and I am playing a high elf of Rivendell by the name of Elendil.
Finally,
Oh, it's me.
elf.
It's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's me. I'm following. Oh no, it's Dan and then me and then Jim. Did you say, or was it Jim and then me and then Dan? It's me. It's me.
It was Jim and then you and then
All right, well, Jim can go first. I'm really excited.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry,
fine.
I'm
Go
excited.
for it.
Hello, I'm Ben. I mean Jim. I am playing a man of Bree called Will Osborne. Bit of a happy-go-lucky fellow. Built on the big side. There to help his friends out. And he likes to whittle.
It's, a fun hobby. Goes well with statue rubbing. Ben.
That's
Go on,
actually
then.
Mina, right? Obviously, I got confused because me and Jim are identical twins. So it's easy to
Fair.
confuse the two of us, especially if you've never met us. I'm playing Sigrun, daughter of Sigrid, the daughter of Bard, the dragon slayer, and therefore a princess of the Bardings. So I'm like that one with the Welsh accent, because only that family had it in Rivertown, I believe. None of the other Rivertown folks spoke like that, just them.
The accent of a line of royalty,
Yes,
apparently.
this is the voice of the line of Girion of Deal.
Yeah, apparently. And last up, Roger.
Hi, I'm Roger, and I'm playing Robin Burrows, the halfling of the Shire. I'm out here to cook 'em chips and sing a little merry song. And apparently they like me to go and look at things every now and again.
Don't forget your frying pan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the point. I'm a
anything will
warden.
make the chips.
What are you? I'm a warden. You're a hobbit.
I'm a treasure hunter.
Treasure hunter.
So, when last we left our fellowship, they had arrived in the halls of the last homely house and handed over a packet intended for Elrond, which turned out to be a broken dagger. And Elrond sent them away to rest for a moment so that he could examine it in full. And the next day, you find yourselves called to the eastern porch in the morning as the sun rises above the mountains and the bubbling water is washing out across the valley, and you can hear the chirping of birds. To find out finally what this has all been about. And the members of the fellowship that arrived find that other than themselves, Elrond is there obviously, as is Gandalf, and as is a high elf captain by the name of Isildir, who is sort of standing in a corner, and in another corner, kind of skulking, but looking boss doing it, is a rather worn-looking ranger.
All right, my lovelies. What a lovely morning.
The
Morning,
ranger
Master
sort of
Burrows.
nods at you as you come in, and Elrond draws you all out towards the porch area. And he says, well, I believe I owe you an explanation. The item you returned to us, and he holds out the dagger, appears to be an ancient weapon forged by Telkar of Nogrod in the days of the First Age.
Oh, well, I swear it was broken when we got it.
Yeah.
I'll just spell Telkar. I'm writing this all down in my book.
Telchar.
I don't know that we have the craft or art to be able to break something like that, Master Burrows.
It is an ancient artifact, and many of the things from that age have been broken in the days to pass, either by the shadow or by misfortune or ill fate. However, it is auspicious that this has fallen to us now. We're going to store away the broken shards, and they may be of use should we one day need to reforge the sword Nazriel, which some of you may have heard of.
Mm-hmm.
That explains why they're still sharp.
Like
it was, yeah. It's the blade that Elendil used to strike the ring. Well, Isildur used to strike the ring from Sauron's hand. And though it has been broken, obviously the stories tell that it and that line will one day be reforged. So we'll keep that here amongst us until that day comes. However, we'll return the hilt to you as a gift from us, fixed with a new elven blade, though it may take some time to achieve this.
Gandalf, Lord Elrond.
Gandalf is in the corner stroking his beard and looking kind of grumpy.
What wonders Gandalf to be included in such a tale of the past, and one that stretches into the future. I'm beside myself. I can barely keep notes straight.
Yes, wonders indeed. But I'm more concerned with this Black Numenorian you encountered. It's troubling that one such as he should have been attempting to stop you.
One of the foulest things I've ever seen.
Made it as far as Bree as well.
Aye.
There are rumors of stirrings in Angmar. There's talk that the Dark Lord still sieves over the affair in the Lonely Mountain and what he lost there. I fear that that this is only part of a growing shadow.
Many things were lost at the Lonely Mountain.
Many were lost, but the Dark Lord's intentions were also thwarted.
And some things were regained.
Indeed. Anyway, thank you for achieving this endeavor for us. Elrond calls over Ithildir and introduces him to the Fellowship. Says, should we have need of your particular heroics again, should the fate of Middle-earth need you to come together once more, I would hope you wouldn't mind my captain here accompanying you.
Nods politely.
Yeah.
To be our pleasure to be accompanied by such a noble venturer.
I hope he likes chips.
Everybody likes chips, don't be silly.
Aye.
I don't know what elves eat. I've never met one till now.
You look over in the corner at any point, it appears that the ranger that was sitting there has disappeared at some point during the course of this morning council.
They do that.
He probably went for breakfast.
Such folk.
Elrond finishes with saying you're always welcome in the House of Elrond and in Rivendell, and I hope you can take some rest here.
It's a great honour, Master Elrond, that you afford us.
And at that point, you're free to ask anything else you want to ask.
Where's the library?
Before we get to the...
I'll fight you for it.
If that's where you want to go, you're both shown where the library is. Is there anything else anyone wants to do at this point before we go over to the fellowship phase? Or
Can't think of anything. They want anything else from us?
okay.
We're the minions here.
Not at the moment. It seems they're quite happy with what you've achieved, and there's some whispering that it's probably a thorn in the Dark Lord's side. Gandalf gives you one last final warning that you'll need to be more careful in future, as the enemy's eye will be upon you now.
I think we all learned some lessons from our travel.
With which I'm introducing a new element in the rules, the Eye of Mordor.
Oh dear.
Because you have a high elf captain with you, your base level of eye awareness is going to be 2, and then basically in the future, every time you roll an Eye of Sauron, every time you gain a point of shadow, or every time you do something magical, that level is going to go up until eventually you are revealed to the eye, and we go into something called a hunt.
Cheers, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
My pleasure to be of service.
Bloody elves.
After that, Gandalf and Elrond let you be, ask you to take rest in Rivendell for a bit before journeying wherever you may, and then we'll sort of slowly go over into the fellowship phase. You're all free to, you don't necessarily in this case have to, because it's going to be like the span of between the year where your initial adventure happened, 3002 of the Third Age, and the starting of a new adventure in 3004 of the Third Age. So there's going to be a long period of time in which you're coming and going and doing things. So you don't necessarily all have to hang around together, and you each get to make an undertaking of your own. I will say at some point, whenever all of you happen to find yourselves in Bree, Giles Butterbur is going to introduce his good friend Will Hosburn, who he asks politely to take care of them all while he tends to his duties and retires from the adventuring life, because one dangerous adventure was enough. So with that, your entire new party has been formed, and we'll go over into the fellowship phase.
Cool.
So basically how it works is, over the span of this period, you're each going to do a single undertaking, and we'll sort of role play that, what happens based on the list of undertakings you can perform. Or if you come up with something you would like your character to do in that time, just let me know. And then you'll have a global one, like a party undertaking. And you can also spend your 12 skill and adventure points that you've accumulated over the course of the previous adventure.
Ooh.
What's the difference between skill points and adventure points?
So skill
Ben,
points...
speaking for the everyman character that doesn't really exist.
So skill points allow you to raise your proficiencies in skills and in combat proficiencies. So like travel or battle or in hearten, song, whatever, or how to use an axe and that kind of thing. And adventure points allow you to raise your wisdom or valor, which are the ones that give you either extra talents based on your background or extra effects to parts of your equipment.
Okie dokie.
Cool.
Yeah. Does anyone need a quick run through of how the system works again, or we'll do that?
Yes,
We'll do that
run
as we
me
go,
through,
I think.
run me through target numbers again. Are we aiming to get under target numbers or over target numbers?
Under
Target numbers.
Basically, the base number is 20, and then the number next to it is your attribute in it, and that lowers that target number of 20 by the amount that, like, for instance, if you have 7
so if I roll a
strength,
hunting roll like that,
yeah,
it comes up as a 12 because I rolled 2 of them and 3 of them, so it's a failure. Because
you roll a d12 and your number of d6s,
right.
Also, what also happens in this fellowship phase, which is useful for you all, because it's going to be a Yuletide fellowship, you all regain all of your lost hope because you've got time to have a rest, sit by a fire, smoke a pipe, read a book, something about hobbits. Yeah, I know. And you also each lose 2 shadow points.
Hey.
Because you managed to...
Is that permanent or temporary?
Both. So
wow.
Both of your shadow points.
Wow.
Because you only had 1 temporary shadow point.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, yeah, and it takes away the big shadow one anyway. It's
yeah.
shadow scars, I was
It's
thinking.
shadow scars that give you the permanent...
I'm assuming our fatigue disappears as well.
Yes, yeah. You're all rested
What do
and
we have
happy.
to roll for then? Is that to see what's improved, or
No, I was just rolling for the sake
Oh.
of being reminded how it works.
okay? Cool. So we've got how many points? 12.
12 of each. Yeah. On wisdom or valor. Yeah. Or yeah.
I've gone
As,
from 2 to 3 colour.
As Eldef pointed out, it's actually adventure points that raise your combat proficiencies, apparently.
So, adventure.
And he
points
says he
raise
can't
hear
combat
Pete.
proficiency.
There you go.
Yeah.
I pressed my little button there because I opened a can of Coke.
Yeah.
And skill. So skill points do skills, and adventure does combat.
Combat and-
your wisdom and valor, or your combat proficiencies.
Right, I'm going to put my wisdom up to 3.
How much is it to
Stuff.
increase valor or wisdom?
Page 119.
It depends what
It
rank
does
you're
depend
raising
from what
it
level
to.
to what level. I'm going to spend all 12 of my points to take my valor up to 3, I believe.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm going to do.
What's the benefit of
Can
having
you
high
give
valor?
me an idea of roughly where everyone goes?
I'm going to
and
spend quite a bit of
what you're
time in
doing.
Rivendell going through the libraries,
Through the
and I
books,
actually want
yeah.
to do the ponder, storied, and figured maps.
Okay.
Basically,
So
like
you're
absorbing as much as I
increased-
can.
Yeah. So Vidal's wisdom is probably also increased purely by ransacking Elrond's library and reading books that haven't been read in thousands of years.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's been a while. So, what's the benefit of upping valor or wisdom?
Powers.
So, yeah, valor gives you extra abilities to your weapons. So, like, you can get keen, or I have to look them all up.
Tight fitting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, close
Yep.
fitting, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Keen. What's the other one? Piercing, that sort of thing. And wisdom gives you access to those background talents and things based on your. Well, there's some standard ones, and you also have the ones based on your background. For instance, as a hobbit.
My
I've
undertaking.
moved.
Oh, go ahead, Dan.
No, you first.
I was going to say my undertaking is going to be to gather rumors, in particular about the Black Numenorians.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. And as I ride out around the lands, that's why my epic tales of daring do raise my valor.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
gone up
you
1 valor.
Occasionally
Up 1 awareness.
find people that that don't like the idea that you're looking into this, who may or may not be agents of the shadow, and on
They get a
occasion,
shoeing.
a few people wearing dark hoods with sharp knives try and accost you, and are promptly chewed.
Giving him
And
a right
thus
kicking. Cheeky
your valor
buggers.
goes up. Sorry, Jim, what were you?
I've gone up 1 valor and up from awareness to 2 to 3. I think that's 12 points as well, isn't it? Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would it be to put your swords up?
Then you'd have to spend your adventure points.
Oh,
How much are you putting it up by?
I want to move it to 5.
I don't think you'll be able to make that.
12 points to put it before.
It says 26. In the meantime, we'll start
Is this
with.
a Yule phase?
Yes, it counts as a Yule phase.
Do we have any healing in the party?
Or-
What's
Move my
that then?
heal. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put a point in healing.
So we also
get
get,
up to 3.
according to this, we gain skill points equal to our wits rating.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put that to the side at the moment because you've already been triple boosted, and otherwise,
Okay.
you might annihilate the legions of Mordor before.
Sorry, I just saw that while trying to
How do
figure
you
out what the
take
hell
points
I'm doing.
off your character sheet?
How do you add them? Mine
No,
doesn't.
take them off.
If you've added too many, press. I think it's Alt Shift, and then click on it, rather than Shift click.
Oh, shift click. No.
Yeah, Shift click adds them, and then Alt Shift should get rid of one. Anyway, while we're here, Pete, so your undertaking was going to be? Vidar's undertaking was?
Studying the storied and numbered maps, figured maps.
Yeah.
So I want to go in and just pour through all the scrolls and books and maps and all the things that they'll let me in Elrond's, not his personal library, but the Rivendell library. See if there's stuff around the local area, any interesting holes in the earth that need exploring, stories of things that haven't been uncovered, lost treasures that could be found somewhere, that kind of stuff.
As you're going through the library, you find various nooks and crannies, and one day you're walking to the library and you spot an elf come up from somewhere below, from a staircase or something, holding some charts and some books and things, wandering off down into the main hall. You chance it, have a look down, and you see that there's a bunch more books hidden down there amongst some very, very unique looking other things.
Oh, these crafty elves. Secret stash of books.
Find some maps that you haven't seen before ever, and they seem to map parts of the old kingdoms of men that were around this sort of area, a bit further out from Rivendell, but beyond the troll shores. And there are some pictures of towers and keeps and things that aren't even ruins nowadays, that you're pretty certain if you went there, as far as you know, there's nothing there. But they used to be, and clearly they used to. There's at least some foundation work there, so if you were to go digging in that area, you'd probably be able to uncover some things.
Excellent.
So yeah, you get +1 modifier to your feat die rolls to determine the nature of events until the next fellowship phase.
When it says also, add 2 to injury... Oh, sorry.
If you pass by one of those areas, I'll trigger an event where you uncover some lost ruins.
Oh. Okay. Mark that out on the map for me for a second.
Yeah, I will do.
And I'll show our viewers.
Find us. Basically, anywhere in this area, you're fairly certain there's some things left.
Aye. Oh. Okay. Oh. New text. That's a strange old human kingdom.
The kingdom of new texts. There we go. Let's get rid rid of the lines around there.
Rumoured ruins. Awesome. My favourite words. I definitely need a bit of R&R.
So, who wants to do some form of undertaking next? Yep.
I'll have a go.
Isildir, where are you spending most of your time?
So Isildir is a young elf by elfin standards. He's only a couple of thousand years old.
He's just a baby.
Young.
Young. I'd like to think that he was there when Arnor split into several kingdoms. He fought with the men of the West when they battled Angmar and the Witch King. So the fact that Elrond just mentioned the Witch King and that there are dark things moving in Angmar has got him a little worried. So that, if I may, I would like to kind of patrol the border and recce Angmar a bit.
Yep, sure. We'll count that as gathering rumors. So you spend a lot of time out there, some of which you spend with Elrond's sons, who are also abroad.
Oh, the twins.
Yep.
Cool.
And a lot of the time, there's very little to be seen. There's the occasional troll that comes down from the mountains. And then as the year passes, there's another one. And then as the year passes further, there's another one. And there seems to be a sense of something stirring, but it's not overt enough yet for you to really catch on to anything.
Okay.
But, yeah. If there is something happening, you're pretty certain the mountains, at least from the Etamors, there appear to be trolls descending and pushing out further into Middle-earth, well, into Eredor, as the year passes. And then, on your last day before you return back to Rivendell, as the twins have already left to go elsewhere and do other things, you spot a single shadowy dark figure in the very, very far distance, watching you from a sort of mounded hilltop out towards where the old borders of Angmar would be.
It's rather ominous.
I'm going to put that up on the map as well, because I'm enjoying this now.
Got map view for our viewers as well, so.
There you go.
The map's so dark for me, is that right?
It shouldn't be. You should be able to see it. Let me have a look. Sometimes it's a problem with the
vision.
Missions. Let me just. Ooh. Come back. Done. Delete. Up now.
No.
No?
You might need to refresh, Jim.
Dan, can you see the map?
On Forge,
Yeah.
no. I've just got a black screen as well, but I can see it on the Twitch, which is what I was looking at. So.
Okay. Then it must be.
I sees it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Let's see.
Oh, dear.
About now.
Oh, no.
Is that better?
No, it's not. Let me sign in now.
Oh no. Oh yeah, that's because you.
But I can see it now.
Okay. It should let you sign in a minute. Sorry. Anyone else want to do any undertakings?
Oh, hang on. I'm still spending my my magic points.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I've added Grievous to a bow, which says, not Grievous, Fell. Add 2 to the injury rating. Now the injury rating was 16. Does that go up to 18 or down to 14? When you add 2.
Up
to 18.
Wait, damn it. Yeah. No, you've got
and
me.
That's good.
Yeah, because they have to roll over it. With your protection rating.
Right.
And that's because you took a point of valor, right, Ben?
That's because I took 2 points of valor, yeah. So, yes, I will be wielding a new bow going forward. Iwenorech, as it's known amongst the elves.
Okay. And your undertaking was?
My undertaking was to gather rumours on the Black Numenorians.
Okay. So yeah.
Or the Black Numenorian. Well, there's only one of them, isn't there? Or is there?
That's one of the first things you find out. There's rumours in dusty old taverns and forsaken places like the Forsaken Inn, and amongst some of the more brigandish folk that you find wandering the Great Eastern Road and even the Greenway, that free riders have been seen together of late, coming here and there by day or by night, and then disappearing just as quickly. And what they've been undertaking, no one's quite sure of.
3 Raiders of Numenor. That's not a good sign. We might need to track one of those bad boys down.
Yeah. Do you want to try and find out where one of them has been seen last?
Yeah, I think I will do. I will try and pursue that line of inquiry further.
Okay. how dangerous do you want to make it? How far are you taking your pursuit? As at the moment you're mostly traveling alone, I assume.
Yeah, I think I don't want to go so far as to end up deed, as 'twere. But I want to go quite far. Let's make it dangerous but not deadly.
Okay. I will say then, give me a hunting roll. As you kind of try to track them through various means. And if you fail, you may find yourself in some peril. Where is Sigrun traveling out of anyway?
Did I seriously just roll 2 Eyes of Mordor? No, I didn't. That's all right then.
No, you rolled a Gandalf and an Eye of Sauron. So,
Phew.
Go Gandalf. It was a great success.
Thanks, G-Money.
Yeah. So you get a lot of rumors that they have been seen near the Weather Hills, near the North Downs, near Fornos the Rain, along the Greenway, in Rudar, and just generally that sort of area.
Definitely up to the north. That is the direction of Angmar, isn't it? Beyond those mountains, just beyond the Misty Mountains.
Yep.
Could be coming out of Carndum.
Lots going on up there.
You get another virtue.
Put your wisdom up.
Yeah, if you put your wisdom up.
I just gained Untamable Spirit, which means I get more hope, and I get an extra die when saving against sorcery.
So to up my wisdom to 2, it would be 8. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
What's your wisdom at initially?
1.
So yeah, it would be 8 to go up to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 to 3 would be
12.
12, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all right. Good idea. Get that
So
right.
20 to go from 0 to 3.
Hero.
No, sorry, 1
From
to
1
3.
to 3. Yeah.
So, at the moment, there's a lot of rumors flying around. Will Hossburn, does he usually just go by Hoss?
Yeah, Hoss.
What's he been up to in this
I'm
last
going to be
year?
gathering rumours.
Since...
Yeah, gathering rumours, see what's going on.
What kind of rumours are you looking for specifically?
Mainly keeping my eye on who comes in and out of Bree and the stories that people have and what they've seen in the local area. And
what is initially peculiar and then becomes more commonplace is you don't see a lot of travellers coming down the Great Eastern Road or along the Greenway anymore out of the south. But they're either generally parties of dwarves travelling to and fro to the Blue Mountains, or very unscrupulous looking fellows who seem to be sighted more and more along the roads.
Any direction?
Other than that, there aren't really many travellers.
Okay.
The sort of direction is, just like both the Great Eastern Road towards Rivendell and the Troll Shores, and the Greenway down to the ruins of Tharbad. and further down towards the south.
Okay.
Does Hoss do anything with that information? Do you pursue it any further, or?
Yeah, I'll see what's going on down on this the southern road. The ne'er-do-well area mainly, sort of, because obviously we're trying to get traders and merchants into town, and again, so.
Yeah. So you can, if you want to investigate it further.
Yep.
How are you going to go about that?
I'm going to have a travel out myself, and just.
How risky do you want to make
it? Medium risky.
Okay. So if you want, you can give me a travel roll, or an scan roll, or an awareness roll, or an explore roll. Depends what you're going to do.
Yeah. I'll go for a scan roll. Not very good at scan, but.
Ooh,
got that Gandalf.
Just all Gandalfs. This is like a repeat of season 1. You're gonna roll all Gandalfs, and I'm gonna roll all Gandalfs, which is bad for me. Yeah, no. You sort of pick up on a number of brigands that you'd more associate with being down from the Tharbad area, coming up. And as you investigate further, it seems to be they're being pushed upwards by groups from the south, people from the south also sort of pushing upwards and moving up the greenway closer to Bree than they have otherwise been found in recent years.
Okay.
That's all this sort of area.
Okay.
We're surrounded.
Yeah. Okay. I shall obviously keep the town watch up to speed with what's going on, and
is Hoss part of the town watch? Oh.
No, but yeah, bit of a free spirit, really.
Just go out and do the town watch's job for them.
Yeah, bit of a nosy Parker.
Lastly, Robin Burrows. What have you been getting up to in the intermittent period?
Mainly irritating other people. He was trying to get
Where
to know...
have you been settled out of? Did you return to the Shire, or did you stay in Bree or Rivendell?
He's going to spend some of the time in Rivendell, annoying Vidar and the new High Elf. I've forgotten his name, sorry. Elendil. So yeah, bugging though, just trying to get to know them really a bit better than I do. Robin's a very sociable creature, and it's nice to actually have a chat with people in the safety of Rivendell rather than going, crap, is that Warg's coming our way? So just trying to,
every time Robin goes into a room to find Vidar. He finds Vidar rubbing something. So, just.
Well,
Such wonderful statues here.
it's what he likes to do first thing
Mr.
in the morning.
Put that down.
So yeah, sort of the first half of the time I'll be irritating Vidar and Thildir, and then moving on towards Bree, where I will irritate our new friend from Bree. Again, just trying to get to know him, and just trying to build healthy relations. Doing what he does best, cooking nice meals and having a chat.
Do you want to make that a strengthen fellowship undertaking?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay then. So the fellowship rating gets raised by 1 until the next fellowship phase. Yeah. Give us an example of what Robin does to irritate everyone, but also bring everyone closer together.
Well, while Vidar's rummaging through all his papers, for example, walk in with a nice plate of chips, go, "Oh, what's that?" Picking up one of the pieces of paper Vidar's been writing with my greasy fingers.
Oh, keep your greasy fingers off these elven maps, young hobbit.
But then all's, of course, forgiven when he tries the chips.
These are not for wrapping your chips in.
You must have some spare.
Just stunned.
Here, try one of these. I've been working on a new recipe.
Oh, fantastic.
And nab some stuff from the elves' kitchen. Don't tell them.
Absent-mindedly, shovel chips through part of my beard into my mouth while I'm still pouring through the books.
Desperately trying to look over his shoulder while he's doing it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for treasure. I'm looking for signs of treasure, Mr. Burrows.
Ooh. Well, what you thinking? Found anything good?
Lost kingdoms of men. Aye. There'll be some minor trinkets, perhaps.
Sort of subconsciously, rubbing his tater locator on his finger.
Tater locator. Love it.
There are many magic rings.
Not when I'm in the room, please.
Oh, she's talking.
Just rubbing the tater.
We can't both be rubbing stuff in the
you-
room at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah, and again, with once I get
Hawkins like my legacy.
He'd love it.
once I get to Bree, sort of following old Hoss around, going, "Ooh, what you doing? Ooh, that looks interesting." Poking things.
I'm weirdly not irritated. I find this company very, very good.
I suppose as a Bree lander, you're kind of used to the little people as well, being about amongst the big people. So you're more used to hobbits than everyone else.
And of course, for
Finally, then,
older, Thildir. Going. So, do elves eat chips? How do you like your taters? Do you like them mashed, boiled, baked?
In the presence of Isildur, the Hobbit, Isildur always seems to have a demeanor of being quite sad, and seeing the Hobbit just kind of to make him feel a bit more glum as he kind of reminisces at the hobbits at the Battle of Fornost and kind of wonders to himself what hope in hell they have.
What we have the Rangers for.
In these broken kingdoms of man. So he will maybe perhaps tell a tale of his ancestors.
Cool.
Of the Hobbit's ancestors, not the elven hamster. Never had chips before. He's never had chips.
Don't know anything about that, but here, try one of these. Offer him a chip.
Gonna be so. What is it?
Food. It's good. Try it. Better than those leaves.
It tastes. It tastes good.
Told you. Also, so if I've taken a point of wisdom, can I take one of the Hobbit virtues?
Yes. Yep.
Excellent.
No.
I'm going to take small folk, so I can be in rearward stance, even if someone else is.
Oh.
So, I upped my valor.
Yes.
What does that mean?
You
I
get
upped
a
it to
reward.
3.
You get a reward, yeah. So you can add something to your equipment, like
Got quite a
key.
few rewards.
It's on page. Wait, find it now.
60 something.
Rewards. The list of rewards is on page 78. So close fitting for armor or helm, cunning make for armor, helm or shield, fell, grievous, keen for weapons, or reinforced for a shield. Basically, it'll give you increased damage, make it easier to carry your armor by reducing its encumbrance.
Yeah, no, I remember. I've already got a couple of these, haven't I?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start doing that.
It's interesting to see there's like a valor versus wisdom dynamic. There's people who only ever go like, oh, I want more rewards. And there's people who go, oh, I want more virtues. But there seems to be...
I've got 2 of each. I'm trying to keep it.
Yeah. And then the Hobbit plays the middle ground.
So I've got to keep balance.
Yeah. Finally, as a group, and then I will ask you to say sort of where do you come together for this? As a group, you can perform one undertaking based on the callings that are in your little fellowship.
If I was going to reinforce my shield, where would I write that?
I can drag that into your shield for you if you want.
Yeah, I've got close fitting leather and grievous axe.
Yeah.
General Kenobi.
Yeah, I want a grievous weapon as well. For that line. But I think I might take a parrying to improve my shield.
Yeah, that's what I've gone for.
That's what you've gone for?
Yeah.
So you're reinforcing your shield.
Yeah, reinforced shield.
I think we should write a song
Yeah,
together.
me too. What, the reinforced shields do? I don't know, I might up my sword because it's already got a bit of...
I was tempted to write a song during the fellowship phase.
I've already got a grievous... I've already got a grievous longsword looking at my list. So...
There you go.
Reducing encumbrance is always
I could make
useful.
it a grievous fell. Or
And then you got to give it a name, really. If it's got 2 features.
You've got to give
on
it a name.
If it's got 2, you've got
Yeah.
to give it a name.
Oh, sorry to be a pain. I didn't realise you could have 2 features. Could I have a fell axe, then grievous fell axe, rather than reinforced shield?
If you right now immediately give me an awesome name for it, then sure. Or think about it for a bit.
Bernard.
No.
I hate to be a copycat, but I might go for a grievous fell as well.
Really? Is that all of us with grievous fell items?
No,
It
mine's
just-
only grievous.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to go for grievous fell as well. How do I change that?
I'm doing it. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll go for
My
grievous
axe
fell.
is just an axe.
I need to come up with a cool sword name.
Yeah,
And then
I'll
you
happily
can
help Vidar
change
write
that.
a little jingle.
For our Twitch following, can someone give me a cool
Yep.
elven sword name?
There you go. That's an idea.
Bernard. On.
I'm not calling my elven longsword of 2,000 years old Bernard.
Bernardo.
Bernardo.
Well, if it was 2,000 years old, it'd be like Bernardeliel, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, Bernardeliel.
Bernardring.
Bernardring, I could go with that.
Nethadil.
Bernard Ithrin. Old Uncle Mojo. Bernard Ithrin.
I like
That's
that.
not bad, actually. I like that.
I'm glad we're taking this as seriously as season
with this
1.
bow.
So yeah, are you gonna write a song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should write a song.
Is Pete gonna sing the song for us?
Not like right now.
That's homework for next week. What type of song do?
I think we need a walking song, don't we?
Together as well.
Nah, let's just rip something off a venue.
We've
got to pick a lay, a song of victory, or a walking song.
Walking song.
Where are you basing yourselves out of as well at this point?
Are we going to meet in Bree?
I think we probably should, because meeting in Rivendell seems a bit presumptuous.
And they don't have ale in Rivendell. It's just
do.
wine.
We
It's
just
just
have
all
to take
wine.
There's nothing wrong with wine.
Also,
but
they
I
don't have no pipe weed.
fancy a tankard of ale in that Butterbird's bar.
Well, while you're there then, in that case, someone roll me a d12 as you enter the prancing pony to construct your masterpiece.
Sorry, did you see Grim and Perilous's play's name for a band?
Durin.
The advantage with dwarves is it could be Durin.
Roll
Let's
one
see the song as well.
d12.
I think somebody already did it, didn't they?
11's not
no.
bad.
Yeah, but somebody already rolled it.
No, I don't see any other roll.
Roll for? Oh no.
No, that was for something else.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, you on your way to the inn, you get in.
You'll
grab a mug of ale. You're sitting in the common room, and you spot a very familiar pointy grey hat sitting in the corner with his own mug, smoking a big pipe and eating a fresh loaf of bread with some hard cheese. It appears Gandalf the Grey is there. So if you want to interact with him, you can.
Oh, definitely.
Oh.
I mean, if he's there and we're there, it's a party.
Aye. I'll fetch him an ale and take it over.
Can my
Slide
axe
it.
be called Life Ender?
If you want it to, yeah.
Yeah.
I will count that as a free meet patron act because you literally rolled it and you met your patron.
Oh, cool.
Who was Gandalf.
Cool.
Although you
I'm
have
gonna
two now, as Elrond is also one of your patrons.
I will be calling my sword Langorel, which is Elven for glittering blade.
Shiny.
It's got glitter on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hmm?
Rusty.
Did you drop it? Yeah, Gandalf. Oh, my friends, how has the year been treating you? I've just returned, and for the briefest moment, his eyes turned sort of westward towards the Shire, and he goes, "I've just returned from an errand. I'm passing through on the way to further errands."
Well, we've been doing pretty much what you asked us to do. Well, what we volunteered / were asked to do. Been poking around in all the wild places, seeing what we can dig up.
I'll roll out a map.
Found a couple of things.
I'm going to roll out a map, and everyone's like rumors and stuff I've like annotated on one of my maps.
Yeah, that sounds very Vidar. Basically, the map I've made is just the map.
Yeah.
The map Vidar.
My rectangles aren't quite so rectangular.
Strokes his beard and his big bushy eyebrows furrow, and that's a lot of dark rumors you've uncovered. A lot of movements in shadow.
There has been that. Quite a lot of it.
Well, I guess we'll have to do something about that. What are your plans from here on out?
I was hoping to persuade my companions to perhaps investigate a hole in the ground or two, but maybe we should be looking at these rumours to the north.
Are any of those near your holes in the ground?
Master Burrow says the truth of it, one wog. You know, we could do two things at once. Head up to the north, look for black Numenorians and holes in the ground.
Assuming they're in the same direction.
Well, if we're heading north and then lap round east on the way back.
Are we not worried about what's coming up from the south?
We are, but we cannot head in two cardinal directions at once.
I fear that there's something coming up from deep south, though, because all the brigands and that are getting further north. So something's pushing them up.
Something is definitely stirring. And it may be stirring across the entire land.
Troubling words, Gandalf. Surely it's just some localized problems that we have to deal with.
Sure, there's more folk than us that can try and do something.
Them rangers and such. Who
Well,
was that chap we
then
saw
we'll
at
listen them to the
Rivendell?
north.
Who was that chap we saw at Rivendell and he was pottering about and disappeared?
We know, Ron.
Strider.
No, that... Oh, right.
I'm afraid Strider won't be able to help with these matters for some time. He is also traveling abroad at the moment on an errand.
Well, we could do a
Does
sweep.
trouble
We're at
me
Bree,
greatly,
right?
though.
We go from Bree, up through Weather Hills, up to the Eton Moors, sweep round by your rumours, stop off in Rivendell, have a nice cup of tea, and then swing round to the south, have a look in Cardalan, see what we can see there.
Eton Moors bring you very close to the old ruins of Angmar.
Yeah, well,
And the
they may
Eton
know
Moors
it.
themselves are very perilous. Not sure I could...
I've heard that Angmar sours the milk.
Amongst other things. Gandalf, I've heard tell of 3 of those black Numenorians, so they're either multiplying or a couple of them are keeping their heads a bit low.
This is disconcerting indeed. I'm afraid I shall have to add it to my list of things to do. Perhaps...
Do you need some more paper for that list of yours, Gandalf?
We can convene again soon, and I will see what I can uncover about these movements in shadow and darkness.
And soon would be...
I feel like saying the wizard arrives.
Is this elf soon or
dwarf soon or
no problem
Gandalf
with you saying
soon?
that. I totally think you should.
what is this? Tea is at 4 o'clock sharp.
I have an inkling we may all meet again very, very shortly anyway, for another matter, perhaps a related matter. So I will leave you with soon for now, but you'll find out soon enough.
Wizards.
Aye. Cryptic
Well, I hope
bench,
there's
a lot of them.
fireworks.
And Gandalf gets up at that point, taps out his pipe, has a brief conversation with Barleyman Butterbur, and then disappears out the door. Which is probably disconcerting for you all, because it's pretty much evening when you arrived, and Gandalf previously looked like he was settled in for the night.
He comes and goes as he pleases, though, doesn't he? Mr. Gandalf.
And I pity any fool who tries to stop him on the road at night. Perhaps, gentlemen and my lady, we should do a tour of the Weather Hills around Weathertop and the South Downs. Circle round Bree and see if we can find anything more concrete. If we venture beyond the Weather Hills and we see things afoot towards the Eton Moors, then we can cast our gaze further that way.
I'll
give you the option now then. Do you want to continue with your fellowship endeavour of writing a song, or would you prefer to instead do a little tour around and see what you uncover?
That's a tricky one. I feel like maybe that little tour.
You'll either end up with a song, or you'll end up with
a fight.
an event of some kind.
I reckon tour.
I reckon the tour.
I think the tour is probably our best.
I haven't figured out these lyrics yet. Oh, I've got I need.
Look, you can't use gold as punctuation.
Why not?
What about
My dwarf.
potatoes?
Potatoes. Well, there's taters in there. Don't worry.
Hobbit gold, I think we should call potatoes.
Well, that's a
Hobbit
particular
gold.
variety of potato, I'll have you know.
Why am I not surprised?
When are you setting off for this little trip? The next day, or you gonna gather some supplies first and then set off? Or
Well, we definitely need to get some supplies before we head off.
Plus, I've slept in mud for the last 3 nights. I'm going to sleep in a bed tonight and have a bath. And then go back to sleeping in the mud again tomorrow.
I say there's no time like present. Let's get out there and get to it.
The hour is late, Mr. Hosburn.
There is nothing for time.
Oh, also need to pick up some stuff for the road.
Let Robin do his shopping in the morning.
And then we'll head
We'll
off.
head out close
Don't
to
need-
first light once the market's open.
We have an
Yeah,
outfit that he'll be able to get things on way, won't he? Eh?
I don't see a spade with him.
No.
Arrested mind is a keen mind. We
Quite.
shall
Aye, elf.
rest
If
here
my
tonight.
mind gets any more rested, it's going to be sleeping.
I'll get a couple more beers and stick one in front of the man of Bree. Here you go. Have a couple of them. That'll get you rested.
Ah, if you say so.
I'm gonna have a good old beer drink and a bit
Yeah.
of beer in the beard, and I'm now making more notes on the map on the table and sort of putting like coins or things to like mark out with Sigrun where we might go, that kind of thing.
okay, so in that case, I think we'll officially close off the fellowship phase, and we'll go over to a small adventure phase.
Cool.
That you've now come up with on the spot, which is extra fun. Who is going to be your travel guide? And you should have access to the drawing tools on Forge, on Foundry. So feel free to make a little loop or whatever of what.
Yeah, I think I
roughly
drew
your
one and then
route is
deleted it.
intended
So
to be.
I thought we'd go up to the Weather Hills, then loop back round through the South Downs, and then come
Well,
back.
that way.
Like that.
I think sort of to hit both hills.
Just all these circles.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, to hit both sets of hills, basically, to have a view across the land.
This is the discussion you have in the morning.
Everybody stop drawing on my map.
Would you relax?
Parliament.
It's only a wax
Parliament
crayon.
Butler
This is my rough
comes
map.
along, looks down at the map and goes, "Oh no, I'd go that way," and sort of starts drawing his.
I think, yeah, the weather hills to have a look across the land.
So you're heading up towards the weather
I
hills.
will guide because I have focus in
Okay.
travel, and it's my magic skill,
Yes.
so I can do some funky stuff.
Will
Do I
pull you down
spend?
to guide?
Do I need to spend a point of hope to get the jazzy roll?
If you want to, you can spend a point of hope, and then you get an extra d6 on
Right.
your roll.
But it's favoured. so what does
Unless
that
you
mean?
have a, then you get 2d12, and you pick the best one out of your feet.
Ah,
dice.
okay.
And if you have a distinctive feature that would help in this case, if you pay that one hope, you get 2d6.
I'm cunning. Would that work? I'm clever and cunning, devising a route. That's not
I
really.
mean, I feel like you already get an extra d6 for your fellowship undertaking, so
Oh, are we?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll just roll, and I get one extra d6.
so- before we leave, Bree, can everyone assign themselves a role? So Vidar is the guide, and then you have hunters, scouts, or lookouts.
I believe I've
You
already
can
assigned
double up on
myself
those
to
ones.
hunting.
How do you
Right.
assign a role?
How do you do
You
that?
just drag
Well,
your
if you tell
portrait
me, I'll
from
drag it
available
down for
members,
you. But yeah.
and you can drag it into the section that you want to use.
Which ones need which skills?
We need
Awesome.
scouts with
Yeah.
explore and lookouts with awareness.
So hunters is hunting, scouts is explore, and lookouts is awareness, as Ben said.
So where am I
I did
dragging
my
it
homework.
to?
So,
I've
what was
already
more?
dragged Vidar down to guide.
Okay.
So
What did you say
if-
it was again? Sorry.
hunter.
If you want to be the scout, you need the
Scout.
explore skill. If
Yeah.
you want to be the
Yeah.
lookout, you need the awareness skill.
You
Yeah.
don't need the skill, but it
It
would
helps.
come
It
in
really
handy.
helps.
It's why I take hunting, because it's pretty much the only one of those I can actually do.
I'll go look out.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
go
I'm not
look
bad
out.
at awareness either.
I'm all right at awareness.
Would you need me to do
Someone
explore?
is gonna
We
have
need
to
to
be
scout.
a scout as
With
well.
explore.
Yeah, can
Is
any
that
of you
explore?
explore? Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
I can't do both of those, can I? You got to do one thing, haven't you?
So Robin on explore, and then Elendil and Haas on lookout.
Explore. And if
Do I roll it now? Or?
No. We start off with our travel roll, which Vidar is going to provide. So, did you spend a point of hope?
I'm going to spend a point of hope because I want our first journey as a fellowship to start well. And I am kind of humming the tune and the odd lyric of this song that's still forming. So I'm going to spend a point of hope. Now that gives me an extra D6, right?
Yes. Yep. And you have an extra d6 from your fellowship
Okay.
as well.
And bonuses to the right, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they're crossed
Eating
out.
that.
Okay. Oh, no, hang on. Here we go. Hope, point die, inspire. Am I inspired?
Your distinctive feature doesn't count.
No.
so
Okay,
no.
sure. And then one bonus die. Okay, here we go.
One bonus die. Yep. Yeah. If you
Bosh.
didn't succeed with that. So it is, however, a normal success.
Oh.
So your first travel roll is going to occur as you make your way initially do you go up the woods, or are you just going sort of straight through the Chetwood, or up the Midgewater marshes?
Well, I think we want to
Not through
avoid
the
the
marsh.
marshes. Go skirt around the edge of the marshes.
Yeah,
along
through the
tree line.
Chetwood. Yeah.
So through the Chetwood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You find yourself in that sort of dark wood for a couple of days. And then you wander out into a big open plain with the clear vista of the Weather Hills in front of you. You can see them pretty much all the time from the moment you leave the trees. And then we're gonna roll journey phase a d6 to see who gets the first event.
And we get a +1 to all.
You get a
rolls.
+1 on the event itself, but first we have to see who the event's for, which roll.
Okay.
So
And D5s
Pete,
are really tricky.
you can roll a d6 as you're the travel guide.
I'll roll 1d6. 4.
So the lookouts have found something,
Oh.
or at least encountered something. And you are currently in Darklands.
Oh dear.
So let me see.
What's it gonna be?
An ill-favored journey roll.
Gonna put all these grievous weapons to use.
A 4. No, wait. It's the worst one. Yeah, a 4. And the 5 is the same thing, a mishap. So,
When does my
the...
map thing take effect then? +1
Oh, well, I've...
to all feat die rolls.
So it gets a 4 + 1 is a 5, and a 5 + 1 is a 6, but it's ill-favored because you're in Darklands. So
Okay, fair enough.
So it was a 4,
yeah.
but a 4 to 7 is a mishap.
Oh, okay.
Which one of the lookouts would like to take this upon themselves?
I'll go for it, go on.
Okay, then.
Good man.
Can't have the elf getting mucky.
You sort of... You're pretty sure you spot something off to the side near the hills, off to sort of the southeast of you. It almost for a moment looked like from above this strange row of rocks, in between a sort of cleft of these row of rocks, that you saw a figure dart across. And for a moment you feel like calling out and running after it. So can you give me a what is it for an awareness roll, please? And if you fail, basically, okay then, automatic
You don't.
success. You don't fail, so yeah, sure. You run after them for a second and kind of get trapped in this deep mud. And everyone follows. by the time you've pulled yourself out, you're pretty sure whoever it was, they're gone. So you can't chase them any further. There's no point, and you continue back on your original road. But you have each gained 2 fatigue points.
Oh shit! Up to me britches.
But you don't add an extra day to the journey, or add an extra fatigue. So
Where do you put fatigue?
In load, there's a little box
next to your load. There should be a little box, either at the top or the bottom, where you can add your fatigue to. And basically, that adds to your load as you go as well.
Sorry, was it 2? Yeah.
That mud was thicker than Mr. Burrow's mashed potato.
Aye.
Ooh, I could go for some mashed taters.
Yeah, you're sort of at the cusp of autumn now as well. So the lands are getting a bit darker earlier. The temperature's dropping a little. There's a bit more rain than there has been recently. And so things are getting muddy.
We're in potato season then.
Yeah. Vidar, can you give me another travel roll? So is the idea basically that you travel up to the Weather Hills, have a look around,
Yep,
and then go back?
and make a judgment
top of
call
the
there.
Weather Hills.
You know, if there's something like darkness on the horizon or something on fire somewhere, then we'll go and check it out. Otherwise, we'll do a loop down the other side of the hill, or maybe along the hills.
I think along the top of the hills.
Yeah, along the
might
top
be
of the
a plan.
hills, and then come down.
Be able to see further and more.
Yeah, check out Weathertop, you know. Right.
I hear it's lovely this time of year.
Do I use hope again?
Do you want to be spending hope this early?
No.
With a fellowship
this much.
phase so
I get a bonus one, don't
Obviously, what you can also do is when you're resting, you can spend fellowship points from the group fellowship points to give you your hope.
Hope back. I've put... thinking about fellowship points, how many do we have?
9.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
9?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had the wrong number on the screen. That was just why I was asking that question.
Oh, well, we did have 8, but I did a thing to give us an extra one.
An extra.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Right. Here we go. Ooh.
Very nice. You get to the top of Weather Hills, and at this point, there's a sort of slow patter of rain that sets in. It's cold and freezing, and the entire top of the Weather Hills is desolate. You can see the ruins of these interspersed old watchtowers going all the way from up to the northeast, sort of curving all the way down along the Weather Hills that you're atop of now, all the way down to Weathertop in Amonsul. And you have, through the rain and the slow settling mist, you have a long overview of the plains of Rudar before you. Can someone roll me a D8 though to see what you find out? Who wants to do that?
Oh.
We'll do it. There you go.
Oh, an 8. It's either really good or really bad.
It's either really good or really bad, and we still don't know.
I don't want to know. I love the fact that there's all these tables and I haven't looked at them yet. Because then it's all a surprise.
To be honest, I come up with one every single time as well. So, just to add some flavour.
It's a hill troll, but it's a clumsy one and it falls over and dies.
Yeah. You watch it roll down the hill. Dunk, 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 bashing everything on the way down. No, Sigrun, your eye is taken away from these big open plains before you towards something glittering off towards the side, sort of rested against the little rock in between at least two of these watchtowers. It's not in one of the ruins. There's just a little rock sticking out amongst the other ridges of the hills and the thicket of undergrowth that's grown along it over the years. And it's almost like there's something glittering or shining in the last fading sunlight,
let's go see what
down
that is.
amongst the rain. What you find is the bodies of two very long dead elves who appear to be embracing each other, and they're sort of almost completely buried by a purple autumn heath that is growing over them, but you just notice the glimmer of their armor.
Not idly do the leaves of Lorien fall. Whistle the others over.
By the looks of it, they've probably been dead since the fall of Arnor.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Rested here forever.
Oh.
What, Miss Master?
So is this their final resting place? And have they been buried properly?
Well,
they have not been buried properly. They're just sort of sat together against this rock, covered almost completely now by a purple autumn heather that's growing over them and sort of winding around.
I assume they're all skeletal now.
Yeah, very much so. But their armor is clearly elven of make.
Is there anything of note on them?
Aside from their armor, you would have to disturb the bodies to check it out.
Master Elendil, I don't want to upset your sensibilities or anything, but we can't leave a motel like this. Is there a proper burial we can do?
They should have Iluvatar's blessing upon them. We should give them a proper burial.
Now, I might be out of order here, but is it all right to take that armor off them first?
We should investigate the bodies.
It's probably not in particularly good condition, I'd imagine.
It's made by elves, isn't it? So that lasts forever, same as them.
Lewis, what condition does the armor look like it's in? I'm assuming it's a bit
It
degraded given the time.
All of it was still glittering enough for Sigrun to notice it.
Should we carry it back to Rivendell?
I'm going to go sniff the metal. Is it mithril?
It doesn't smell like mithril, but it smells like it's been well forged by
it's bloody mithril.
The elven smiths of old.
And live off that. Right, we're having that.
Well, it can be put to better use, can't it? I mean, no disrespect to them pair, but...
Well, yeah, they don't need it anymore, but is it something we should carry back to Rivendell? Or is it something that I don't understand the ways of your people? Should we be making use of it?
Don't we have to stick it on a boat and send it west?
What is that, the bodies?
I don't know.
No, surely we dig an hole and just chuck them in. Well,
no, you don't do that. That's dwarven. Elves don't like being buried.
What?
Are there any weapons, obviously?
What kind of elves are there? What kind of elves are they?
They look like... The armor they carry is sort of like... it's high elven, like you would expect to find amongst yourself, or even towards Linden, or... Yeah.
We're closer to Linden here, aren't we?
You're sort of basically halfway in between.
Yeah. from a cultural perspective, what would it be the elven custom for in this situation?
To be fair, I couldn't entirely tell you, but I mean, you can.
Do you want someone to
can
make a
send
law
them
roll
west
and
if you
make
want.
shit up?
But I think most likely,
Burying or burning, surely.
I will say, if Thildur, you're pretty certain if you were to take the remains and their equipment to either Linden or Rivendell, that the party would perhaps receive some kind of boon.
Oh, definitely.
On the other hand,
bury them and nick the armor.
There's 2 elven blades of fine make there, and a serviceable elven scale chainmail kind of armor.
Probably suspiciously quite similar to what I'm wearing at the moment.
Yeah,
in fact,
and a serviceable elven helm on the other body.
I reckon, and I'm not sticking my nose in, but I reckon that we do right by bodies and take what they're carrying, because we can put it to use, and we're all working for good, aren't we? Against Shadow and all that. So I reckon, that we use it against brigands, and then we're doing good anyway.
These elves and their equipment should be returned to their kind.
Oh, come on!
Can Hoss give me a wisdom roll?
Strap both suits of armor on and hold one of the swords in each hand and just charge.
Hoss, you've never seen, like, other than if Thildur, who's wearing something, the idea of owning something like that is almost too much to bear. You kind of just want to take it. You just like that. You would almost stop at nothing to take it.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do.
No matter what
carry
the Thildur.
But yeah, obviously, I'll give it back at time. But like, we've got to do right, and we're got to do right by doing right. Yeah, so I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna use that blade. Yeah, because that's a daft blade. That's really nice. Yeah, it's a Keenan. Yeah, and I can tell that armor it'd fit just tightly and nicely around my waist. Yes. I'll start taking it off.
It would be easier.
I will stop him.
Master Elf, it would be easier to transport the remains if they weren't clad in armor. And we could.
At this point, Hoss, you can take a point of shadow. As you're kind of overcome by greed, and even as a fielder tries to stop you, you want to take it.
Are either of the elves wearing a cloak that we could wrap them in?
Yes. Yep.
Master Thildur, if we take them out of the armor, we can place their bodies in one of the cloaks to carry back with us. Treat them and their belongings with respect.
For the people watching at home, by the way, that was a shadow greed point.
If both are returned, I'm sure my people would offer great boon.
The boon is an aside. It's right and fitting that these people be returned to their home one way or another.
That's what I say, but obviously we need to get them there.
All right, calm yourself, Mr. Hoss. You're making yourself sound a little bit.
While everyone's arguing, I'm just going to start taking stuff off the bodies, as in their heather and not the equipment, like removing bits of plant.
I'm going to stick one of the swords in my belt.
Yeah, I was going to say, at this point, no matter what Hoss, you find yourself holding the sword anyway.
Master Thildur, he's got a point. It
shimmers so nicely.
We need to make use of this against the shadow. I'm loath to touch the effects of a dead man without their blessing. But perhaps there's some rightness in what he's saying.
Tell you what, this armor don't have come off easy.
Perhaps there isn't.
My Lady Sigrun, I feel perhaps your fellow man here is perhaps not as of a purest character as yourself.
The allure of riches can cloud even the stoutest of hearts. I'm sure he can be persuaded when the time is right to do the right thing.
It makes me sad.
The armor I'm going to hold up against the halfling and see if it'll fit against him.
It's a bit large.
It makes me sad to see the hearts of men so easily.
How about you, dwarf? Will this fit you?
I'm taking a rubbing of a nearby stone. There's some little carvings on it, and I'm over to the side.
Please stop rubbing off over there.
I'm fine, thank you. I've got my own.
Give me an awareness roll.
Okay.
Is it? Wait. Is it? Yeah, awareness.
Bosh.
You're rubbing along these ruins that are scratched in near to where you found the two bodies, when all of a sudden, just as you kind of want to bring your pencil over the next part, like just the edge of it seems so sharp and harsh in your mind that you realize the end bits of it appear to be black speech that has been carved over the
like graffiti kind of thing.
Yeah, they've been carved over whatever was you were initially rubbing.
Ugh. Bit of a grunt. What? Oh.
What's the problem?
These ruins have been daubed with foul black speech scratchings.
Right, well that settles it. We've got to get these elves out of here.
I'm gonna now sort of when I take the sort of my paper away, how fresh is this scratching on over the top? Recent or 100 years ago?
I mean, you're a dwarf, so carvings in stone is probably it's probably quite old.
Okay.
Maybe of a similar sort of time as the corpses, and when the initial elven script or the initial carving was made.
So something hasn't recently just scratched black speech onto this thing.
I'm
gonna lean closer and lick the surface of the stone and be like, "Aye, no, it hasn't been. This hasn't been done recently. This is about same time as to the folk over there."
Agreed, but just as
Robin.
we were called to our elven friends here, that will call to the shadow.
Aye.
Yeah,
I'll pull my
Robin,
axe
when you pull the heather sort of away at the bottom of the corpses, there's similar scrawlings just along
Would I
the
have any
stones
idea
they're
what that
lying
is,
on.
though?
No, but just the sight of it kind of
Ooh, I don't
makes
know
you
the
almost
look of that.
feel uncomfortable and take a step back.
Master Thildir, may I have your permission to move the bodies of your kinsmen?
Indeed, and I will assist.
Right, so I'll pack the bodies, but with respect.
You've got,
respectfully folding them up
you've
in
got
one of their cloaks.
Your ponies or horses with you.
Got my horse.
I'll have my horse as well.
I'll actually put my axe away and get my bow out, and then keep
adorable.
Keep a look around. I might climb on a rock.
I should put the suit of armour on top of the horse, so it's carried nice and easily.
You don't feel like parting with the idea of parting with the sword is already making you feel uncomfortable.
The sword I'm going to keep, but the armour, I'm just thinking I'll put the armour on horse, like, just put it over it, because I've got me tight fitting leather armor. That's yeah.
Okay.
I'll start stroking the hilt.
Such is the folly of men.
I'm going to look over at Vidar and see if he's noticed that as well, and give him a meaningful look.
I'll the little nod, but I'll then continue to keep an eye out.
And once we pack the bodies up for transport, I assume we could probably fold it down quite small if it's just bones.
If you want to, yes.
That way they're not
very
likely
ancient bones.
They're not going to scatter out everywhere on the path, which we don't want either. With them. Yeah. We'll get them wrapped up and saddle bagged away.
Okay. Are you scouting out this area anymore, or are you continuing on your planned loop back?
While they're kind of sorting out the bodies, because I'm guessing that's going to take them a little while, can I have a look around?
Yes. Yep.
Because they probably won't notice me disappearing for a little bit.
Yep.
Hey, it's what I do.
You can give me a scan roll then if you want.
I'm going to use the reroll I've been given. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
I forgot about those.
Oh, there you go. Double Gandalf.
Whoa.
Also, don't forget to let me know when you roll Eyes of Sauron so that I can add to your Eye of Mordor reveal rating.
I think
which you got +1 for, by the way, for the point of shadow.
I think I'm going to need to put that on the overlay so we can see the Eye of Mordor.
So, yeah. Initially, you're sort of scanning around and the rain and the fog are blocking your vision. Until in the far distance, you spot something moving. It's too far for you to quite make out what exactly it is, but it would have to be at this range from where you are atop the Weather Hills and that far out into the plains of Rudar. It would have to be a fairly substantial group.
But I can't tell of what.
No. They just look like figures sort of moving, and occasionally you see them as they move across the plains and then they disappear into trees, or then they disappear behind raised areas. But you're watching them sort of come northeasterly down towards the west.
I'm going to kind of make a mental note of the direction they're heading. Then I'm going to go fetch the elf. Because elves are supposed to have right good eyesight.
If you had to guess,
unless their awareness
based on Vidar's maps that he has with him at all times that you've seen before, you'd have to say they're heading towards the North Downs.
Yeah, I'll kind of head back and report that in.
Go and have a look.
There's a big old group of them moving up towards the North Downs. They're far away and I don't have a spyglass.
Yeah.
I will go and take a look.
If still there, you can do the same. I think High Elves can also... Let's check. You really want... You can also spend 1 point of hope to achieve a magical success.
Yeah, I will.
Remember, you don't recuperate hope quite as easily as everyone else. or lose
Yes.
shadow. You don't lose shadow as easily. Yeah, hope's fine. So you're miserable.
I will.
Your
I
elven
lost
eyes.
hope long ago with the fall of man. What I've spent a point of hope.
What your elven eyes see. You can also you can roll that, by the way, because it might be a great success or an extraordinary success.
What do I roll
Yeah.
under awareness?
Scan.
Awareness or scan. Yeah, scan.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, it was scan.
Where the hell is scan?
It's on the
Wits.
right-hand column.
Wits.
God, I've got
Under
nothing in
wits.
scan.
Yeah, but you've got a wits target score of 13.
But
so
you have a magical success anyway.
Yeah.
Roll.
So yeah, you don't get anything particularly extra. But you spot the sort of crouched, slumped, loping outline of orcs running across the plains towards the North Downs.
Up towards the North Downs.
Yeah, they've come down from the northeast and now they're curving back to the west towards the North Downs. They've sort of skirted around the Etten Moors from what you can see, and now they're hauling it.
I see orcs. Orcs moving north towards the North Downs. They have come down past the Etten Moors and across Rudar, and now head towards North Downs. How many are there?
It looks like it's a small company of orcs.
It's a small
Fight
company
for
of
it,
orcs.
Pete.
Yeah. So yeah, as you sort of watch them running across, everyone else is stood there between these two ruined watchtowers with the elven bodies next to you. And the last thing you spot is 3 figures riding up behind them to the front of this Orcam band, and then they disappear into a sort of forested area not far from the North Downs, into between the trees, and even you, Athildir, lose them out of sight.
Okay.
It's never a good sign.
And yeah, after that, you kind of wind your way around back on the road towards Bree. On the road itself, you don't really spot very much. But yeah, you have these two elven bodies and their equipment with you in your horses. And as you reach the gates of Bree, Nob, the prancing ponies, one of the prancing ponies, Hobbit employees, comes running towards you, and he goes, "There's a letter here for you from it's from, well, it ain't from that Gandalf, but Gandalf done brought it."
I love that.
And,
That's how I'd imagine Nob to be.
Thank you, Master Nob. Let's have a look then.
And before you even enter Bree, you get given this letter. As you open it up, it's clearly written in a fine elven hand and addressed from Elrond, requesting your presence in Rivendell
Well, that's
quite soon.
That's beautiful penmanship. See what 1,000 years will do for your handwriting.
Elrond is much older than 1,000 years.
So I understand. Yes, I've read a few things.
And with that, the Fellowship is called to Rivendell. And I think we'll leave it there for this week.
Cool.
Cool. That was really cool.
Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, it's already got the Lord of the Rings feel. I love it.
That was really cool.
That was really cool.
Okay. Well, thank you to my wonderful players for playing, and thank you everyone at home for watching us. I'll leave the what's on Garblag and stuff to the very important, very clever Garblags that know all these things.
Ben?
The wise
them
one.
will answer.
The wise one. Yes. Well, for the rest of this week, it's pretty easy, actually. Tomorrow, we've got Blades in the Dark. That's it. Although...
No North America tonight.
Oh, and North America tonight. And they're doing Achtung Cthulhu.
Achtung!
If you find yourself in the market over the weekend for a little bit of City of Mist, though, I have a couple of spaces left in some of my Pro DM City of Mist games on Start Playing. And, well, I've got two that are nearly full. And it's a special event weekend for City of Mist, which is really good timing for me because I'm in the home straight of my Monday City of Mists game, which will be back next Monday as we go back into Garblag next week. And I think we're back on Coriolis on Tuesday as well, aren't we?
I believe so.
And Jim, are you back with Owattatau on Wednesday?
Yeah, final episode.
Grand finale of season 3.
Someone has to die in the finale, really, don't they?
Or everyone.
And you're already plotting season 4, so you can't kill everyone. Just everyone except Roger.
Everyone but one. Yeah, just...
The Ripley.
I mean,
One
the elves come
guilt-ridden
close
survivor.
several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
Have your people call my people. They can send my people an MP4 of your people having lunch with some people.
Check out the Discord. Come and join us, have a conversation with nearly 700 other role players having lots of fun and sharing pictures of their food and other things. And also check out the Patreon. Got loads of cool free stuff on there. And there's some tiers you can sign up to if you want to support the channel. And you get loads of more cool stuff, including Gartopia. Issue 5 will be out shortly, which will be a World Mountain
special. Is issue 5 a special?
It's a World Mountain special. It's my setting.
What's the World Mountain?
It's a big thing floating through the ether. Big giant mountain world that's got layers growing out of it. It's my fantasy setting. So
one of them's called Our Lawn.
It is. Not your lawn or their lawn, but our lawn.
Get off our lawn. That's what you say to the demons that come up from below ground, isn't it?
There you go. And there's a link to the picture. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. And good night from us. Good night.